Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger stakes. This is beef country, Texas.
Home to the Alamo, and a state park so big that we named it just that. Big Bend. Call it that because it's really big and it bends. Duh.
It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
Seem to have befallen many unfortunate things are happening to me this week. Yes, I got a crack in my windshield.
Wait, hold up. You are Specialist Brianna too.
Oh yes,
1st Cavalry Division Band.
Represent.
That's what her name tag says.
That's DOO.
DOO. Short and sweet.
And you, sir, are
hungry.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
I know. Storm First Class Kelvin Ringold.
13th Expeditionary Sustainment Command.
Yeah.
And you are
Sergeant Lessard, 504th Expeditionary Military Intelligence Brigade.
Refuses to give me a first name again. That's Sergeant Melissa Lessard. And I am Dave Larsen, Fort Hood Public Affairs. And you're not. All right. You broke your glass. You broke a windshield?
I didn't break it. This
was it a truck?
Broke it. So I got 2 big old cracks now in my windshield that I had to repair, and my cat has fleas.
Oh no!
What?
So I've been.
How does your cat go outside?
She does. She goes on hikes with me. So I do treat her, but I think because we've been hiking and I walk her almost every night.
You know, flea collars are not cheap.
I know. She has a collar, but it's not a flea collar. It's a cute little adorable collar.
I know.
You walk your cat like on a leash?
No, she hates walking on a leash. I tried that for months, but she will follow me.
Oh.
So it's adorable.
Yeah, cats are pretty smart.
Yeah, she's so smart. But yeah, so now I'm getting bit all over, which is not fun.
Yeah.
I'm itchy.
Well, you know,
scratching.
At PT.
Yeah, my son, my college son, has a good friend who has dogs, and that dog had fleas.
Ugh.
And then he brought them back into my house.
Oh no!
I was not happy.
No.
I had to buy 4 cat collars, flea collars.
Yep.
Give them all baths.
Yes.
I would not. Nope. I would not give my cat a bath.
No, I can't. I can't
Cats
give my
do
cat
not
a
like
bath.
water.
No.
Not true.
Your cat likes
cats.
Some
water?
cats like water.
Some cats.
Yeah,
many.
my oldest cat, Emma, she'll be 13 in October. She was a show cat when she was a kitten. We got her at 6 months old.
Did she win any prizes?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, but they used her as a show cat. The breeders did.
She sounds like the cat's meow.
But because, but you know, if you've ever seen a Persian, they look like little fur balls, and they're all fluffed out and just right.
So cute.
That's how she looked when we got her. Well, now she's a pet, but because she was being pampered, and you know, she's Miss Priss. She will not. She's not a self-cleaning cat.
That is hilarious.
She gets a bath once a week.
So she doesn't cough up hairballs at all?
No.
Wow.
No, that's somebody else's job. Because when she was a baby, somebody told her, "Not your job, girl."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a cat that won't clean itself.
Yeah, I will never, ever, ever. I love her to death, and we've had her for a long time, but I will never, ever. Yeah, we showed this one. No, because the breeders that we use, they're up in Arlington, right? And now we haven't bought a cat now for 8 years. Our youngest is 8 years old, but they also show cats, you know, and that's their thing. You know, that's the only reason why they breed cats. Because they're into the shows. They're into the shows, and you know, the grand champions and blah 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 blah.
I used to have a show bunny, or my family did, and she won.
A show bunny.
She won prizes, and
Wow.
everybody loved her. She was the perfect bunny.
Is this like 4-H or something when you were a kid?
4-H. Oh yeah, I was really young.
Yeah.
But she had like the perfect little bunny tail, like it was fluffy and round, and she was all white. And every competition that she'd enter, she would win. It was cool.
Yeah.
Cat show, bunny show.
Bunny
I don't
shows.
know.
Only thing I know was the gun show.
That would have been a great video clip.
I tried to do that with a straight face, but
I liked your
failed.
flexing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have enough time for a dog show. I have a miniature dachshund.
Aww.
How big is that dog?
Really small. He's smaller than my cat.
Miniature. Oh.
He's
that's
like a
not too
miniature
small.
long hair wiener dog.
My little Chihuahua is like that small, but she's kind of wide.
I didn't know you had a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I would not have picked you for a
She's-
Chihuahua guy.
Well, she just showed up. The first time I was at Fort Hood, she showed up in my backyard. Nothing but bones, no no chip.
Oh, thank you for rescuing
Yeah, she was
her.
like 4 pounds. It was
Oh my goodness.
very,
Saved her
very
life.
odd.
And now she don't weigh 10.
no. She's
She's living a good life
Now she's
now.
8
She's
pounds,
thick.
right?
She's thick.
Chihuahua is thick.
Aww.
All right.
We love pets. Animals.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this week's show, we have a special guest.
Who is it?
Who?
We have the Garrison commander back on the program.
Oh, he's back.
Oh boy.
For
Not-
the
Well, actually not for long, because when this show drops, it is his day to change command.
only constant about the Army is change.
So Colonel Jason Wesbrock will be coming up.
I can't wait for that interview.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up, like I said.
Yes. We should just get to it.
I think I'm gonna head out then.
Yeah, you know,
Not
there's-
enough room.
somebody's
in here for
got
all
to
of
give
us.
up a chair. So, yeah, Don't.
I be out.
Bye.
Don't.
Fast-moving floodwater can easily push your vehicle off the road and place you or your family in great peril. Even 1 foot of floodwater can exert 500 pounds of lateral force on a vehicle, pushing it off the road. Every year, more than 80% of flood fatalities involve vehicles, and about 10 people on average drown in their vehicles per year in Texas. Fort Hood experienced 10 vehicle flood fatalities from 2016 to 2017 alone, and Bell and Coryell counties have had more than 30 fatalities each since 1959. I-35 connecting Dallas, San Antonio, and South Central Texas is known as Flash Flood Alley, and FEMA considers flooding to be America's #1 natural hazard. Flash floods in Central Texas can happen within only a few hours of rain, and their most active months are April, May, June, and October. Is it worth the risk of losing your life? Of leaving loved ones behind to try crossing? Overconfidence kills. Never drive into the water on roadways. It's not worth it.
It's me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast, your #1.
So it's a banner day in the Wesbrock family today. Colonel Jason Wesbrock joins us, and you are changing command today as this show drops online, sir.
That is correct. Yeah. So it's been a good 2 years. We've had some interesting challenges and never a dull moment over the last 2 years, but we've made a lot of steady progress and some huge progress as well across the installation in the past 2 years.
You know, when you took command, we were already into the Army was addressing housing issues. And that's kind of did a 180 in the 2 years you've been here, because we were doing quarterly housing. I guess we're still sort of doing those quarterly housing town hall meetings. But tell me about how that has changed in 2 years, because we just had a huge thing happen last month.
Right. So you're referring to the announcement that Lend-Lease made with
all that money.
So, so really going back 2 years ago, in February 14th of 2019, the housing crisis really kicked off in the Army. And we had our challenges here, and we still have some challenges, but not nearly where we were before, right? So it was a recognition of the challenges in housing that had been really long-term. And we've got some old houses on the installation, some built back in 1948 in the early 50s that are still have soldiers living in them.
Sure.
So as we looked across the installation, there wasn't a specific house, there wasn't a specific neighborhood. It was across the installation there were houses with challenges. And one of the bigger problems was we didn't have SOPs really in place how to address a crisis at that level.
Okay.
And so there was a lot of leadership involvement. There was a lot of corporate and local involvement from Lend-Lease and Fort Hood Family Housing to try to really address the issues that families were seeing and try to get them into safe and healthy homes as quickly as possible.
Sure.
And we saw, when you look at what happened in 2019 and you compare to where we were in February of 2021 with Winter Storm Uri,
right?
Another large-scale issue with homes, 665 homes damaged because of the weather. And we had the processes in place. We had the policies in place that we could quickly address those major concerns. One of the challenges that we didn't experience in 2019 that we did in 21 with Winter Storm Uri was while we looked to displace families so work could be done on the homes, there wasn't hotel space to actually displace to because everybody was displaced.
Right.
And so that was a new challenge that arose to that. But the partner continues to work, Fort Hood Family Housing continues to work through those homes that were damaged. And they're about 80% done with that original number.
Wow.
And some more to go. And they've caught up on their maintenance backlog that was generated during that, much like DPW did. Certainly had a maintenance backlog on the installation as a whole, with over $13 million in damages on the installation.
Sure.
And about $8 million in housing damage on the installation. And so we have caught back up with the maintenance piece. We have put in a number of policies and procedures from the Tenant Bill of Rights to tenant responsibilities. 1 June, you'll see enacted a conflict resolution process, which we haven't fully announced yet. We're working through the specifics on how that will affect both Fort Hood Family Housing. But there's an informal process that's resolved at the Garrison level, and then a formal process that will be resolved at the MCOM level under the auspices of the MCOM CG.
Wow!
So very, very interesting. I would look forward to seeing how that turns out for the Army and Fort Hood. I've been looking forward to something along those lines for the last couple of years, and I'm glad we finally got that coming to fruition. And then, of course, exciting things coming from Fort Hood Family Housing in the near future, as they announced the $500 million investment to Fort Hood.
$500 million.
Wow.
$500 million. So we're the old homes that I talked about in 1948-50, they're going to be torn down.
Right.
So Chaffee, McNair villages will go away, tearing down about 600 homes and then rebuilding 600 junior enlisted homes over in that footprint.
Well, that's 5 years. Right.
Over the next 5 years, that you'll start seeing progress on that probably January of 2022. But there's a number of other projects that are associated with that funding. So roofing on 2,500 homes, renovations to about 1,500 homes. And I'm not talking just like painting the walls inside. It's new kitchens, new bathrooms, complete renovations, what they call an extended change of occupancy maintenance. So that's coming with that. There's some curbs for Venable Village that are tied into that, tree trimming and other things that need to be done.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Well, we got a resident here. She's actually in Montague Village. Melissa, what do you got for the Colonel?
So over the past 2 years, COVID happened. So can you talk about how the challenges and the processes and whatever about COVID? I know I was on maternity leave when it first happened, so I wasn't.
She got over a little bit.
And I was in Poland.
Yeah.
You might have had some challenges. So much like all of America, right? We didn't expect a pandemic on that scale.
Sure.
And so early on, as we were trying to figure out, how that would affect, soldiers and families at Fort Hood, we literally shut down the post. I mean, there were some emergency things that were left in place. Like we could, you had to have people to maintain the infrastructure. We kept our commissaries open, those types of things that people, soldiers, families, retirees were going to need, regardless of whether there was a pandemic or not. And then it was really following CDC and DOD guidance of how do we react to COVID-19. And it took us several months to work through that.
Sure.
So in June of last year, we started ramping training back up. Mitigation measures were in place, masks were commonplace. Still didn't get a vaccine in place, and we continue to monitor the rates around not just Fort Hood, but in the extended communities of Fort Hood, which of course then generated the General Order number 1 from General White that limited where soldiers could go. And I think we're in the process of redrafting the GO1. I saw a draft earlier today, so that should come out quickly. And
yes.
So as we work through all of the, what does COVID mean, and then the vaccinations came out and people started getting vaccinated, I think many of us were anxiously awaiting, the announcement that came a couple of days ago, which is if you're fully vaccinated, you can be like all of us in the room here, right?
Raise your hand.
Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
No masks.
No masks.
And so it's been great to go around and see people and over the last couple of days and actually see people. You can see their smiling faces.
Yeah, a lot more smiles,
It's
right?
a beautiful thing.
Yep. The silver lining, I guess, even though when the soldiers were staying home and the place was deserted, that was one of the interesting things with our DPW, Directorate of Public Works. And we were able to do a lot of infrastructure work when there was less travelers and less people around, and also out in the training areas, right, sir?
That is right. So we took advantage of that opportunity that COVID provided. And while we initially weren't doing routine, what they call DMOs or work orders for DPW,
right?
We were still doing emergency ones, but then we looked at what projects were out there on the horizon that we could get done sooner rather than later, and capitalize on that on the installation. So a lot of road repairs going on, a lot of maintenance in the training areas, which we typically are limited to doing twice a year for 1 week during the spring cleanup and the fall cleanup when we shut down the training really in the impact area.
Sure.
But we were able to capitalize on the stop in training on the installation and really get after fire breaks and maintenance on vegetation out in the training areas, which will affect where we're at for fire season and reducing the risk that's
which
associated
is right
with
around
training.
the corner.
That's right.
Yeah. The job of garrison commander, for folks that aren't in the military or aren't here at Fort Hood that are listening, Fort Hood is like a small city. The commanding general is the mayor. You're the city manager. So kind of give me a feel for how it's been your 2 years in command. If you're looking back at it and going, all right, that was different. But, what's your thoughts heading out the door?
Well, where to start? So really nothing that we do in the Army prepares us for what Garrison Command is. Because like you say, it's essentially city manager, sometimes mayor, when the CG.
A lot of former garrison commanders became city managers.
I do, yeah. So, but it's a fascinating look into how an installation runs.
Right.
And unlike a city manager that you'll see in the local communities, who's responsible for emergency services and some infrastructure development, and planning for what's coming on the horizon, they really don't have the same scope and scale in the sense of the garrison commander for an Army installation literally owns everything on the installation. Now, he's a supporting organization to the senior commander and who sets the priorities of what needs to be done. But it is a very complex position when you think about what all is encompassed in there. And thank God for the all of the office chiefs and the directors and the experts who really are the emphasis behind making everything run on day to day, because an installation this size is pretty unwieldy. And when you think about it, Fort Hood is this land-wise, it's the size of Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Right. And we essentially have a couple of different cities on Fort Hood, the main cantonment area, and then you've got North Fort Hood, which is about an hour north of the main cantonment area.
Sure.
all of the infrastructure and everything that goes along with running the services on the installation, some of which the garrison doesn't own but is responsible for integrating on the installations, for instance, the commissaries, the PX, the restaurants, the service stations, the LRC. I mean, there's, the list goes on and on and on.
Right.
But I will tell you that being the garrison commander is an interesting position, because few people really get the opportunity to look behind the curtain and see how an installation runs.
Right.
And seeing the talented professionals that day to day, regardless of whether there's a pandemic, an ice storm, or whatever crisis du jour is, are in, day out, making sure the installation and the services stay up and running to support the soldiers, the families, the civilians, and the retirees.
Absolutely.
Okay, sir, you're here 2 years. The great place, we appreciate everything you did, but I mean, what's next for you? Are you leaving? You sticking around?
So the good news is, at least for my family, is I don't have to leave, right? So while I am going to escape the gravitational pull of the third floor of the Corps headquarters where I've been for the last 4 years, I am going over to Division West to be the Chief of Staff. So my commute in the morning goes from 2 miles to about maybe a half mile. But very important mission. I've watched it kind of tangentially as the G3 and the Deputy Chief of Staff, a little bit more involved as the garrison commander for the support that we provide to the mobilization force generating installation portion of Fort Hood.
Sure.
Up at North Fort Hood. But to be more involved with shaping the role and the way that Division West is going to support the National Guard and Reserve forces that are prepping to deploy, and being able to work with General Johnson, the Division West CG, and help shape the priorities for him and the staff to better support our Compo 2 and 3 formations, I think is going to be a fascinating job.
Well, we're glad you're sticking around, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, thank you very much for swinging by.
You're welcome.
This is your change of command day. You didn't steal too much thunder from your speech, right?
I don't think so. I haven't written it yet. So
there you go. Because, folks may hear this and then go, well, why am I even going? But, sir, thank you very much, and good luck in the next position.
Thank you.
We're going to miss you.
Well, I'll be here, right? I'll see you all.
There you go. So, when you got good stories over at Div West, be sure to give us a holler, okay?
Well, yep. We want to make sure that we're highlighting the good work over there, too.
Absolutely, sir. Well, thank you very much. And, we'll be back with more stuff after this.
Sure, why not?
Sure, why not?
All right.
Let your voice be heard at BOSS.
What's BOSS?
BOSS stands for Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers and serves the single service member community, active, guard, and reserve, as well as single parents, geographical bachelors, all U.S. military service branches, and foreign service members assigned to the installation. The BOSS program is based on quality of life, community service, and recreation and leisure. As a member of BOSS, have a voice in how you live, how you spend your leisure time, and how you support the community around you. BOSS membership and the program's available leadership and project management roles also will enhance your promotion package. For more information about how you can become a BOSS member, visit our website at hood.armymwr.com.
What does resiliency mean to you? For the folks at Fort Hood Resiliency Campus, resiliency is helping folks help themselves. The campus offers a wide range of programs, each aimed at assisting Fort Hood units and individuals in need of morale and team-building opportunities. Through programs like the Applied Fitness Center, Military Life Counselors, the Army Wellness Center, Nutrition Clinic, and the Warrior Quest Adventure Program, the Resiliency Campus headquarters is located on the 5th floor of the Shoemaker Center on Darnall Loop. To find out more about what the Fort Hood Resiliency Campus can offer you, look them up on Facebook or give them a call at 254-285-5693.
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast, now available at those fancy schmancy streaming sites.
Stop yawning.
can
that's
you
right,
be
you got-
tired?
I got kids, man.
Last week you were all
Look at that
pumped.
look she's giving you.
Last week you were pumped.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, what
but
happened to the smiles? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a conversation not meant for broadcast.
Last week I was like, you're
Oh,
smiling.
I
That's so
see.
weird. Now I'm like, well, yeah,
Back
this
to
is
normal.
this is normal.
So cheer up. You have a 4-day weekend coming up.
I know.
Oh,
I'm. You know,
4
I didn't.
days.
I forgot that there was going to be a 4-day
Yeah,
weekend, so I was trying to schedule
it's,
things.
It's a
for
Fort
Friday.
Hood 3-corps training holiday, and then you got a federal holiday on Monday,
That
Yes.
is.
Very
right?
somber.
So, all right, I have 2 NCOs and a specialist. So, all right, everybody, give me a safety tip.
Oh man. Oh, don't drink too much. Drink responsibly.
Don't drink and drive. Okay.
Look out for motorcycles. Double check before you change lanes, please.
Okay. Kelvin. Saving
Nope.
the best for last, right?
Don't drink and swim or boat or any of that stuff.
Oh, man, I thought you'd come up with something better.
Don't do anything stupid, you know?
Yeah. Don't do anything
There's
stupid.
there's the NCO coming out.
I mean, but we all know what not to do, you know. I
We're
get it.
adults.
It's been a rough year, you know. We're gonna enjoy this 4 days, but just don't enjoy it too much.
All right. You got plans for the long weekend? Anybody?
No.
Big plans?
Depends on what that GO says. The revision of General Order Number 1 says,
Yeah.
and then I will make my plans.
Yeah.
I have some plans.
Oh, yeah, plans. Oh, you're kind of a big deal then. What's your
Yeah.
plans then?
I'm gonna go to the Scarborough Renaissance Festival again.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And
I'm
I
how,
double
jealous.
checked.
how do you say that town's name?
Scarsville.
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie?
Wax.
It's 93 miles. I double checked
wax
last
the
night.
hatch.
It is too.
So
yeah.
we're good.
Wax-
Yeah,
Apache?
it's within the 100 miles.
It's within the 100 miles.
I wish my kids would behave long enough to be able to go.
Yeah.
So you're going to the Ye Old Festival.
Yes, my lord.
Have you
I'm
have you
planning.
been there before?
I have. I went not last year because of COVID, but the year before.
Oh yeah, and you get to dress the
I
part.
do.
Nice.
You know me.
All right, so
always
the-
dressing up.
Yeah, the plans are there. So what are we wearing?
So I'm gonna go for a steampunk Lolita look.
Nice. Yay.
To a medieval
Black,
fest?
blue. Is it the black
Huh?
one or the blue one?
Well, I have black or blue.
Yeah, because a couple weeks ago on your page you showed a blue one. And you're like, oh, I don't know if it's goth or not.
Oh, no, this one's steampunk. But I have a different outfit.
I don't know what
Oh.
steampunk is. Tell me.
Of course. you
Enlighten
do.
me.
So steampunk is an alternative. Well, some people are really into like a lifestyle, but it's a how you would imagine the world if steam powered boats and everything took off, and we didn't get all the high tech fancy machinery that we have now.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of airships, a lot of like gears. Like when you wear steampunk, a lot it's like brown with there's like masks and things like that. I'm not explaining
more
this
masks.
very well. Oh,
So earth tones
earth tones, yes.
There we go.
with mechanics,
Yes.
You gonna take
mechanical
a picture?
stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Sounds
Oh,
different.
I'll
You
make
ever
sure to
seen
look for
her
those pictures.
outfits?
Yeah, I think
I've seen
he's
some of
seen
them.
some of
I'm not
them.
like a Facebook person. Like the burner account that I use for,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
all
You
the
have a
stuff.
burner account.
Like sometimes it'll just I don't have an actual Facebook, you know, but I have the one because I got to be an admin.
Right,
you know,
right,
so then
right.
I
Okay.
use that one.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
So and sometimes I like throw if you see I don't even remember my name on there. Oh, TJ, what you call it? Yeah.
Yes, I see
Sometimes I'll
you
be
on
like,
there.
hey, thumbs up.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, I'm excited. It's not it's not traditionally like a Renaissance festival look, but
Okay.
everyone dresses up.
You're
so,
definitely
yeah.
going to stand out.
Probably not there because everybody dresses up all different.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing a fairy look, but I felt like that's really common.
Yeah.
A little too cliche for
Yeah,
a Renaissance fair.
A little cliche.
Oh yeah, we definitely don't want to be cliche at the Renaissance Fair, do
No,
we?
definitely not. Although I do want to own an entire like suit of armor one day, that would be so cool. I've always wanted a suit of armor, but it's so expensive. I'll slowly buy pieces.
When I was in Poland, we were doing the community relations tour. They put me in some armor. I have to show you the picture. They put me in some armor, and I mean the headpiece didn't fit my head right, so it was like squeezing my soul.
We have to put that on the broadcast page.
I had a sword. I had a
page.
shield. I mean, it was
that
pretty.
Sounds so cool.
And you could move in it?
Did you fight?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Did you
they said it was heavy, but it wasn't heavy to me. I don't even know what they were talking about. Couldn't even hardly fit the thing. So
you're busting out of there already.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, gonna see some jousting tournaments.
Melissa, what are you gonna do with 4 days? 4 days off.
Try to get some sleep.
Just relax.
Dave.
That's all I
Like
need.
that.
All I need to do is
R
relax.
and R.
Can't you get like a babysitter for 1 day so you can do something fun?
Well, the problem is that the person that I usually ask to watch my kids every so often, she just had her 4th baby, so I don't want to ask her.
Oh, you can. What are friends for?
Because she just had her 4th baby.
She's a pro. She's not gonna mind watching yours.
Yeah,
No.
What are you gonna do, Dave?
Grill something.
Yeah. That's a
I'm
good
stopping by
idea.
your house now.
Grill something.
I do
I
have
don't
a
know
pool
what yet.
too.
I'm gonna bring a plate.
Party at Dave's house.
Quick poll, and then we got to get out of here. But quick poll: gas or charcoal?
Look, I'm charcoal, and I'm not gonna be
Thank
judged.
you
Oh,
very
thank you.
much.
Charcoal.
There is. I'm sorry, you're not grilling.
That's
if
right.
it's
I agree.
a fire.
The
Okay,
charcoal
yeah,
adds
yeah.
a really good smell and taste.
And it's
Thank
got
you.
a taste
Exactly.
to it.
All right.
I thought
Not
you were ready to
replicate.
judge me, but
4
I
for
feel so
4.
accepted.
Yeah.
You are accepted.
This is
I mean,
great.
come on.
Party confirmed.
And
Yep.
for all you gas grillers out there,
Yeah, get out of here. That should be in the safety brief.
don't grill with a gas grill.
How dare you?
Propane is the devil's workshop.
Yeah, un-American.
Preach.
How dare you? Ugh.
All right. I think we're good
Yes, have a
Yes.
wicked good week, and we shall talk to you next week.
We will.
on Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Bye now.
We out.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Hood, and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. Music is written and produced by Will Courtney with express permission for us to use. If you have a question or want to share some insights with us, email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at USAG-Fort Hood and on Facebook at Fort Hood Garrison Command. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And me, I'm Sam Farlow. I'm on the show sometimes.
Driving down the road